I was driving down Clarington, and it was January 2nd, and I had been waiting through the holidays for a phone call to hear that that the lump in my right breast was not cancer, and was so confident that it was not. I'm the type of person that everything goes right for. And just like everybody else, in the shower you have these moments of like clarity and like all the thoughts. That's when you're alone. And I sometimes after certain events or certain things where I just felt so overwhelmed with love, I didn't know what to do with myself. And I would be in the shower and I'd think, this is really how life is gonna be. Just perfect. And I broke up with my now husband for 2 years. He took me back.
No.
I mean, literally.
No. Stop it right there.
Okay, I took it. No. I literally thought everything goes my way. It always ends up right. And I got a phone call that said I had cancer. The first words out of my mouth was, what does somebody do? What do I do? Should I call my boss and tell her that I can't, like what? I feel fine. And she said, well, I don't know. She herself hadn't probably had it. So first thing we gotta do is find somebody who's a specialist, and she tells me these things. And I began to shake so much, and I have one of those things where in my car, I can talk to my car, and it's the phone, and so everybody's hearing it. Well, actually, that wasn't the case. I was on the phone, and I shouldn't have been. And I pulled over, my hands were shaking, and my husband could tell what was happening. He said, you need to call Mom and Dad right now. Tell them to meet me at my house. And I can remember them coming over. It was very surreal, it was very different. And the first thing that my dad said to me is, baby, this is not a matter of life and death. So you need to get that in your head now. He said, this is simply an extreme inconvenience for you physically and emotionally. And you will get to the other side. And when you're on the other side, you'll stand victorious. And it's definitely been the hardest thing I'll ever go through, I'm believing. And, but it is overwhelming how much love, support that I've received. I cannot even begin to think the amount of flowers, the amount of gift cards, the amount of texts, the amount of words. There's not, you couldn't count. And for that, I'm eternally humbled. My father and mother, my husband, of course, has seen the worst. I come here because I feel great. Yeah. Sometimes I feel great. Like right now, I'm still on steroids. I feel awesome. That'll fade. And I'll get through the next 48 hours, and then I'll look to the next Thursday, and I'll mark that off and keep going. But my class has been amazing. They've always been kind of known as a little bit flavorful, maybe is the word I'm looking for. Or a lot of it flavorful. And it's like, just like my pregnancy, which in some ways was harder, because you're being invaded, and you're being used as a house, and you look like a house, and I had a class, a very small class, and they were just like, peace. Like, guys, do you hear what I just said? we're going to do this. And awesome, I'm glad you're excited, I'm glad you're as excited as I am. So let's go with that. This class, I went to my older brother and I said, I was talking with him, he said, listen, I know you get the advice, everybody gives you the advice, and they do. But I appreciate it, because it's your first time going through something like this. And he says, I just want you to do this. I want you to drink a whole bunch of water, and then I want you to laugh a lot, as much as you can. That's my advice, so take that. And if anyone who knows my husband knows that's my recipe to life. And this class, one of their #1 gifts is making me laugh. And I laugh all the time. Just stand up and face them. Could you just stand and face them? Jonathan, you gotta stand up. This is the boy. Right now they're crying a lot. It only happens when the Holy Spirit falls. That's the only time they cry like this. Because they're not criers. They're not criers. All right, but you can see. I think. And they're all singers. Anyway. So, one last thing. All my teaching, and I don't care to count the years right now, because that just won't help anything. But through all my teaching, I've done my best to preach the gospel. The best way I know how. And for somebody who's had a life that's pretty much unscathed and didn't go through any trials, never struggled with drugs and alcohol, that kind of thing, I was fortunate to skip out on that. And Jesus was very real to me, I believe, and my faith was very real to me. And then this hit, and the whole world shook. No matter how much people love you, they can't do anything. You do it on your own. My faith, what I preach, has something much greater to stand on now. And we'll have even something greater in 9 more weeks.